Hello team, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video, and today we're just going to be discussing the process of leaving the British Army and my journey so far. But before we get into it though, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the video, really helps us with the algorithm, and click that subscription button if you want to stay updated with more videos on military advice or fitness. Getting into it then. So first of all, when you sign on to the British Army, you're signing on for a minimum of 4 years. The contracts have changed slightly compared to when I joined, but now it's a minimum of 4 years, and that's coming up to like a maximum of 12 years, and then it can be extended depending on how your career's gone, how you progress through the ranks. But you do a minimum of 4 years. You can, within training, within a certain point, DAOR, so it's discharge as of rights. So if you go through Harrogate, I believe it's longer, so it's about 6 months long. If you go through Apparel or Winchester or Cavalry at adult entry, I believe it's shorter in about 6 to 7 weeks. But it's called your DAR window, so you sign your oath, okay? So you join the army, you sign on a dotted line, you then go to training. You are in the army now, but a window opens up where you're going through training and you feel like it's not for you, so you can get out at that period, and then you leave training, and that's your military service is over. Or if you go past that DOR window, you're then in your 4-year contract. Minimum 4-year contract. You have to serve minimum 4 years, and then what happens after this, if you do want to leave, you have to wait to your 3rd year. So unlike any other job where you can give 2 weeks notice or pretty much leave there and then, you hand in a year's notice. You have to have 12 months to get out. So if you're going through Harrogate, this starts at your 18th birthday, your 4 years. You sort of do like a year or two for the Queen. So for me, I joined at 16, and then it didn't actually start till I was 18, but your DAR window is open longer in Harrogate. Or if you go through Purbright, Winchester, Catterick, it starts on the day you join. You go through phase 1, phase 2, you get to regiment, and then when you're at your 3-year point, you can then hand in your notice. It's called NTT, okay, so notice to terminate, and you're applying for early release, so you're not doing either the full 12 years on a new contract, or for me, it's the full 22 years. Before you get to that point though, you do normally have to go for some sort of interview with your chain of command. So you would go to maybe your sergeant, your section commander, depending on what sort of like regiment you're in. Then they would pass it up. You can then most probably have an interview with, say, your troop leader, platoon commander, and then you're more than likely going to have one with your sergeant major, corporal major, or your squadron leader, squadron commander, company commander, whoever it is. Once you've had all those interviews, then they will say go and do it. Go on to JPA, which is our online like HR system for the army, and then they call it the 7 clicks, but it's actually about 11 clicks, if not more. Okay, you answer a series of questions, you then click submit. That goes on, and then you wait for it to be accepted. It could take a week or two to get accepted, but it will backdate to the day that you've done it. Reason for those interviews is the army has a duty of care, okay? They can't just willy-nilly let everyone up and leave, because we are slightly different to every job. I've been in since I was 16, okay? Now 31 years old, all I know is military life, and it is completely different. You're in your own little bubble. You've got all this security. All you know is the British Army. You've got money, you've got health, you've got dental care. You know you've got a job, pretty much food, accommodation normally. Food's slightly different now, but you're in this bubble. It's a big security bubble. I joined at 16 as well, so all my experience, my qualifications, even though the army are getting better at changing them over to civilian qualification, it's all military. So I'm trying to go from military to a completely different career where people, okay, they might say, yep, you're a very good person, you've got skills in project managing, listening, working as a team, whatever it is, but you haven't actually got experience within the new trade that you want to go into. It is quite hard, and then you've got to adapt. If you've lived in a block all your life, or you've lived in a married quarter where everything is so much cheaper, you've then got to go into civilian life. Your rent's gone up, your food's up, your bills are up, and it's just a world of hurt. So they go through these interviews and they just basically ask you what your plan is. You're not just going to leave the army, you haven't got no career in mind, you've got no courses booked, you haven't got any money saved, you're not going to have any income, so they're not just going to throw you out, because it was something like years ago, or possibly now, 2/3 of homeless were ex-veterans or something, whatever it was. So they now have a duty of care to make sure that you've got a good plan before you decide to do those 7 clicks, which is actually about 11 now. A lot of the time as well, they will ask you why you're doing it, and if they can offer you anything else, okay? Don't just go signing off because you're Fredders and you're bored of it or whatever it is. You know, maybe you're just going through a hard time, you've had a really rough month or two, right, I'm leaving. Do make sure you do have a good reason, and that's what they will do as well. Can they offer you a posting? Can they offer you any courses that you've been trying to get on but you actually haven't got on? Is it promotion? You think you're slow, you want to try and pick it up? Can you go on any courses to do this? Operations, you're not doing enough adventure training, you've just got issues in your family life and it's affecting the army, and you think getting out is the best thing to do. So they may be able to offer you things before you actually do it. So before you go NTTing, go and speak to your chain of command, tell them you're unhappy, and see if there is anything that they can do for you first. Getting into it then the process of actually leaving. It's a long process. I think I am now, June, July, August, 4 months into mine. So I've got 8 months left. You sign off, you have to wait for it to be accepted by your chain of command, it then has to be accepted by Glasgow. Once that happens, you can then get in touch with your IERO, okay? So they're basically just your career manager, simplest way of putting it. They know the ins and outs of what you are entitled to, so you will have an interview with them. They will tell you what funding you get. So depending on when you join the army, how long you've been in the army, it will depend on how much funding and how many days, like GRT days, you get for doing courses. So I had an interview with her. I think I had mine booked in within about 2 weeks. Spoke to her, spoke to our clerk as well, and they basically said, you've got this much funding for this. I've then got ALCAS as well. Anyone who's joined after a certain time is automatically signed up to ALCAS. I had to actually sign on the dotted line to do that. So that entitles me to 3 lump sums of £2,000 per tax year, up to 5 years until I leave after the army for certain courses on their website. I've still got my standard learning credits. I get my GRT leave, which is 534 GRT money as well. So that's £534. I then get so many termination days. I get so many GRT days as well. So this is what I can use. So these days I can use to go on course, and it doesn't come out of my individual leave allowance. So the extra days you get given in your final year to go and do courses, you're not eating into your leave. If you don't use them, you can then put them onto your termination leave at the end with any other individual leave that you've collected, and then you can basically go on resettlement leave earlier and start doing courses then if you want to. So they basically sit down and tell you how much of this you've got. So if you've only done 4 years, you're going to get a lot less. If you've done over 8 years or 10 years, you pretty much get the maximum. And if you're getting out your 22 years, you get a nice lot of resettlement. And your resettlement actually technically starts at your 2 years away from when you get out. So you have these interviews, you do all that, then you go and see your duty clerk as well. He goes through loads of paperwork, make sure all your address and bank account details are up to date, just for sort of like pension payments in the future for when you go and fill out your pension form, which you have to do at your 9-month point. Also, what they will go through is where you can get other courses and other agencies that you can sign up to. So you've got CTP, which is the Careers Transition Partnership. They've got a website with loads of courses in, and then someone gets assigned to you and they will help you out. You can go and do a 3-day course on interview techniques, CV writing, job finding, so like how to sign up to things like Indeed, Monster, any other sort of websites like that. Go through CV writing with you, go through interview techniques. They do a self-employed one as well, which is just a day long. Once you've had your interviews with your career manager, you can then sign up to them, and then you can go and book onto courses as well. If you want to fund your own courses, that's totally fine, but that's what they go through. Pretty much after that, nothing happens. You're still in everyday work, you're getting paid, you have to work. So I'm still in work. Yes, I'm leaving, my mind's on about leaving, I'm leaving, but I still have to do my job, so I'm 100% into that. It just means I can do courses if I want to, I can book GRT leave, like I have got coming up, and I can go and do a course, which for me, I'm doing a level 4 strength and conditioning course, which is going to enable me to better my knowledge to help my online coaching clients. But like I said, after you've had all those interviews in the first month, so you have your initial interviews, you go and see the main clerk, the deck commander, you then go and see your career officer, okay, who basically you liaise with them all the way through. You go and see the duty clerk, you sort through the first bits of paperwork. That's it, you're left to it. They may check up on you every now and then, but it's up to you to book your course. It's up to you if you want to jump on this CTP course for 3 days to do interview techniques, CV writing, any other career courses you want to do. Other than that, it's just down to you. So I'm now 8 months away, 4 months in. I'm still in everyday work. Nothing else changes. Changes at 9 months, all you do is you fill in a pension form just to make sure your pension comes to you, and any sort of resettlement grant you get. So at your midway point, you get about 11.5 grand. There's like a resettlement grant. And then nothing actually really happens now. So I'm just sort of sitting there, booking my courses in everyday work until about the 8-week point from when I'm due out, or before then when I go on my resettlement leave. Sorry, 8 weeks from your last date in unit. So that's your termination leave, GRT leave, individual leave, comes back from your official day you leave the army, so that's 12 months from when you signed off. All that leave comes on, and then that's your last day in unit where you go and leave, and you can basically have a month, 2 months, maybe 3 months to sort your life out completely, move to the location that you're going to be living in. So from 8 weeks from that last day in unit, you then sort of like go through a bit more paperwork to dekit. I will do a video when I come up to it. But other than that, I'm call it in limbo. I'm just prepping for courses, I'm building my business, I'm getting used to paying my mortgage, so that's already done before I leave, and then I'm doing my everyday work. That's it, that's the process of leaving. It's a very long process, but it comes around very quick as well. 4 months has flown by. I can't believe I'm actually out in the army in 8 months. In 5 months, 4 months, I'll be on leave, continuing to grow my businesses, hopefully helping as many as you enjoy my videos, hopefully, and join the army. But that's leaving the process. Is loads of interviews at the beginning, you do the clicks, you do loads more interviews, and then it's down to you to sort your career out. And if you are stuck, don't hesitate to speak to your IERO. The woman that's helping me is very helpful. I can just email her, call her whenever, bum bum bum, got a question, and she will fire it back normally the same day with an answer or the next day. If I have any more questions, they will answer. CTP as well, the team over there, Career Transition Partnership, ring them up, contact them, really helpful. Their website's really good. It's got a CV builder on there, it's got loads of courses on there, and it's actually got loads of jobs that are like look to recruit ex-soldiers. If you go on the CTP website, it's like Indeed and Monster. You have an account on there, and then loads of jobs come up, and you can click which ones you want, and you can apply through that website, and it knows you've applied through there as well, so they know you're applying through their partnership. So that's really good as well. But other than that, pretty long process, nothing too exciting happening at first. But if you have any other questions, then just let me know. I will continue to update you on this. Hope you enjoyed my video once again. Give us a thumbs up, click that subscription button, and just give us any comments, and I will see you soon.
I hold on to this storm 'cause I need to be swept away, swept away.